What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. Now, in this video yesterday I talked about the defense. I talked about that defensive line. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the wide receiver. Yes, this week's probably wide receiver 2 or 1, depending on how you want to look at the statistics. Obviously, Bateman is the wide receiver 1, but statistically, Devin Duvernay was the best receiver for the Baltimore Ravens last week. And I want to talk about that jump and whether or not we think it can continue. Josh and I later today are recording our podcast talking about the next stuff. So don't worry, there's going to be a ton of segments out over the next couple of days. But let me know what you guys thought about Devin Duvernay, because that was the major question coming into last week, coming into this season. Right, we know Bateman is the number 1. Who was that number 2? Is it Demarcus Robinson? Is it Devin Duvernay? Is it James Prochet? Is it Tylan Wallace? Is it Shamar Bridges? Is it Isaiah Likely? Is it Mekhi Polk? Is it any of the plethora of wide receivers that we had vying for that spot? And last week, Devin Duvernay came out, 4 receptions, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns on 4 targets. He caught every ball that was thrown at him, and he looked really good. And I think the best thing about it was that first touchdown from him when he goes into that corner of the end zone, the front right corner of the end zone, and he, kind of mosses that defender. That was the type of play that I don't want to say we've been missing, but is so valuable to the Baltimore Ravens, because Lamar Jackson having players that he can throw to in situations where Duvernay was in a position where he can score. Was he very open? No. But Lamar Jackson was able to get it to him anyway. And having that type of connection is very valuable, right? Because Mark Andrews a lot of the times is covered in the traditional sense. There is a defender there. But Lamar Jackson knows exactly where to put it, and Mark Andrews is able to come down with the reception, get the first down, get the touchdown, whatever it is. We have not had that with our wide receivers over the last, couple of seasons, right? You can't really throw to Hollywood when he's blanketed. Why? Because he's not going to be able to out-jump somebody, and he doesn't have the hands to, just full contact catch it. That wasn't his strong suit. Now, he could burn somebody. If he got open, he was solid after the catch. He can do all those things. So I'm not trying to hate on Hollywood Brown. That just wasn't his skill set. Rashad Bateman's touchdown, it was great. Duvernay's second touchdown, it was great. Both of those plays, they were like traditionally open, right? Where Lamar Jackson was like, see guy, throw it to, where he's running, catch, touchdown. Very simple. Now they were great throws. The Bateman one was a fantastic deep ball, which we all know Lamar Jackson can do. And then you can argue it was a no-look pass on the second touchdown pass to Devin Duvernay, where it was like, there's a guy trailing, but he's got the step. Lamar hits him, jumps up, boom, puts it on the numbers, touchdown. It's the plays where it's, oh, he's covered. Let's throw it, whether it's throw it back shoulder, whether it's throw it, a little bit high so then he can jump up and get it. Lamar Jackson put that in the only spot where Devin Duvernay was the only player that could receive it. And he was able to jump up, turn his body, catch it with the defender, tuck it in, and, kind of roll out of bounds with it for the touchdown. If that is something that can continue, and we don't know, who's going to be that wide receiver 2 yet. Obviously, last week it was Devin Duvernay. But whether it's Duvernay or whether it's Demarcus Robinson, if they are able to do that as a wide receiver 2, that is what's going to make this offense work, right? Because Greg Roman is not the best when it comes to designing pass schemes. I'm sure many of you saw the clip from week 1 of the Ravens, running a concept to the right side, and it was like Andrews and Likely, and then there's one guy right behind him, and they were all basically right on top of each other, and it was like, this isn't what we need. A lot of times guys aren't wide open. That, the Ravens don't have Devontae Adams. They don't have Justin Jefferson. Obviously we hope Rashad Bateman can become one of those players where, they are just, if you watched either of those games, they were cooking their DBs, and it was like they are open every single play. We don't have anybody like that. We hope Bateman can be that guy. That was what he was drafted to be. But our wide receiver 2s aren't doing that. That's not the skill set of any of our guys. Can they get open? Yes. But can we like consistently be like, oh yeah, they're going to cook their DB no matter who it is? No. But if they can be in situations where Lamar goes, okay, Duvernay's being covered by a 5'9" cornerback. We've seen what he can do. If players aren't open, I know Duvernay is running a 9 and I can hit him on the sideline. I can give him that opportunity because I know I have that chemistry and I know he has the ability to make that big play. Those are the things that we need in this Ravens offense, right? That is the next step to Lamar Jackson's passing game, is having players that he can fully trust outside of just Mark Andrews. Because every time it seems like it's a third down situation and people are covered, what is it? It's throw it to Mark Andrews. Put it a little bit high so he can jump up and catch it, but give the ball to Mark Andrews. If the Ravens wide receivers are able to play like Devin Duvernay did, in week 1, where it is, hey, give me the ball. That's why he was drafted. I think people forget him and James Prochet were the 2 best hands in that draft class. I want to say they had combined to drop like 4 passes in their combined collegiate careers. Like, it was like, wow, the Ravens are going for hands. They're going for guys that can make difficult catches. That is what they want. If Devin Duvernay can do that, in addition to his ability to, catch an underneath route, run a reverse, do all those sorts of things, Devin Duvernay can be with the wide receiver 2 of the Baltimore Ravens. Absolutely. He showed me the flash that I needed to see to be able to say, hey, he deserves to be out there. Because we don't know who should be out there. This is still a difficult situation. We have Demarcus Robinson, who I think looked fine. Duvernay, how much are we going to see out of James Prochet? Don't know exactly. But we got players. Can we throw Isaiah Likely outside? All these things. We need to see those flashes, then we can have the potential to use them more and more in the future. And I think Devin Duvernay showed that, hey, Greg Roman, you can trust me. Lamar Jackson, you can trust me. Throw the ball up and I can make that play. I think that's huge for this offense. I think it was a great game from Devin Duvernay, and I'm super excited to see what the Ravens do in the passing game, against the Miami Dolphins, right? Because they are a team that last year, how did they beat the Ravens? They did it through the blitz. And when you're blitzing that hard, sometimes you have to throw to players that are covered. And Duvernay showed, hey, even if I have a guy next to me, and it was like he had like 0.05 yards of separation. Like 0.05, not 0.5, 0.05 yards of separation when Lamar hit that touchdown. If you're running coverage 0 and Lamar goes, hey, I know Duvernay is running a 9 on the sideline. Oh no, I made my quick first check. They're running cover 0. Bateman's covered, and the guy's kind of front-sided, so I can't get it to him. I can throw it up to Duvernay on the sideline. I know where he's going to be. So, because they may, go in situations where they blitz and they double Mark Andrews, and you go, oh no, what do you have to do quickly? Now, I believe Lamar Jackson can beat the blitz. I believe Greg Roman can beat the blitz if he calls the right plays. But having those players that you can rely on in those situations is key. That's what Mahomes does. That's what Josh Allen does. That's what Justin Herbert does. That's what Joe Burrow does. When guys blitz, they have the guys that they can lean on, right? Burrow throws it up to Jamar Chase. Allen throws it up to Stephon Diggs. Mahomes throws it up to Tyreek Hill or Mecole Hardman, or against the Ravens, Demarcus Robinson. He had guys, always had guys. Lamar Jackson has Devin Duvernay now, and I think he can become one of those guys where in situations Lamar Jackson can look at him and say, hey, can you make this play? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about Devin Duvernay's performance. I got super excited, and I understand it against the Jets. They are not the best team in the NFL. But being able to do it against, if you can't do it against the worst teams in the NFL, you're not going to be able to do it against the best. So that's the light that I was able to see. That's the spark of hope. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for Daily Ravens content, and I'll see all of you again tomorrow. Joshua and I are about to record our next podcast, so that'll be out tonight.